I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Well, this is a special pick, not just because it's the Packers. This young man is here today, so we want to introduce him. So give him a good round of applause. With the 124th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Barron Sorrell, defensive end, Texas.
Sorrell doesn't have far to walk to shake the hands of the people who drafted him. They're really across the parking lot here.
What's up, man?
How you doing? Let's go.
Heck yeah, man. This is awesome.
Yes, sir, it is.
I didn't know you were here.
Yeah, I've been here, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm already home.
You gonna stay in town till Thursday or what?
Yeah, you know, see how it is. Just ready to add to this great tradition, man. I can see the names, see the trophies, man. I'm ready to add to it, man. I can feel the energy, man. This is beautiful. This is a journey span.
Well, we had a lot of guys come through here from Texas, and you always asked them who were the hardest workers. Your name was unanimous. Unanimous.
From the moments last year in Green Bay, that was a really cool one. The fact that Barron Sorrell was still here. Tough to swallow when you fall as far as he did. Obviously, he was in Green Bay for the draft last year, audio courtesy of the Packers Twitter page. But how cool, Josh, of a moment when he walked out and was able to walk across the parking lot, actually go meet the people that drafted him.
Yeah, I mean,
Awesome.
It has to be the shortest walk ever, right? In terms of NFL draft history.
The shortest walk ever after probably the longest wait ever.
True.
Being in the city. What are the odds? What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome in. Happy Friday. Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
Live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Day one, done. And now the Packers are on the clock-ish. Let's play catch-up.
Packers.
No news is probably good news from yesterday. We didn't trade up back into the first round, nor did we think we were going to, but yet you were forced to watch it because what if?
You never knew.
And yesterday, we had to constantly remind ourselves of what happened with Micah Parsons. Remember, this is why we didn't have a first-round pick.
A blockbuster trade for the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys, landing the Packers, maybe the best defensive player in the NFL. And the terms and the contract associated are massive. 2-1s go from the Packers to the Dallas Cowboys. Micah Parsons is now a Green Bay Packer.
We're going to want to save that.
Yep.
For next year.
Yep. Just going to go ahead and hit replay.
Yeah. Although I didn't find myself annoyed at all. I guess we were so close with or without injuries last year. And Micah Parsons clearly is a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
So as we went through yesterday's first round of the NFL draft, I was sitting there going, meh. And this is probably the year to do it. Because there was not a lot of high grades.
Right. So just like we talked to Wayne Larrivee yesterday, and, he said the same thing we were talking about. I brought it up to him. It seems like no one's really super hyped about this draft, which helps with the FOMO. If you have fear of missing out because you don't have that first round pick, what a year to not have one. Now, who knows about next year? It seems like next year's draft is not going to be touted the same way this one's was. However, we also got a lot of picks. And I trust that Goody's going to do something. I'm not saying we're going to get into the first round, but I wouldn't be surprised if he tried putting something together. So, but to your point, Trevor, it was relatively easy to get through last night. Only a few times I had to remind myself, Micah Parsons.
Where were you watching it?
At home. Just at home.
No, I meant what channel? Sorry.
Oh, I just on my phone. Just ESPN on my phone.
So we were watching the beginning parts on ESPN. Then we flipped over to Pat McAfee's draft extravaganza, which is phenomenal television, by the way.
Okay.
Amazing. And there was a moment when I thought of our conversation with Wayne Larrivee yesterday, and it had to do with Ty Simpson, who got drafted, was it 13th overall?
That sounds to the Rams, yeah.
To the Rams, yeah. And there was a chance, according to Wayne Larrivee and so many others, that he was going to fall. Turns out not so much.
No, they went up and got him.
There was also a trade with the Cowboys in our pick that we gave them, which they turned into another first-round pick, moving back 3 spots, and then 2 more picks later. So I'm annoyed by that because now we have to add even more names onto a list of, look what the Cowboys got in exchange for our first-round pick and Kenny Clark, and we got Micah Parsons. I just hate that there's going to be that fodder of just this long list of potential talent that Dallas got, but yet we have Micah Parsons, and it's hard to remember that, A, because we didn't have a pick, and B, because he's on the schneid at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely the frustrating part. However, were you worried that any of the guys that the Cowboys got are going to make immediate impact?
They seem to be doing some things pretty impressive. I did tweet yesterday when they picked that D edge rusher this is a very much, if Rashawn Gary doesn't figure it out, we have a solid plan B pick. It was interesting to watch them fill that D line, trying to replace Micah Parsons. We know they got Rashawn Gary. Now they got Malachi Lawrence and Kenny Clark. And how many other times are they going to use this pick to their benefit? I just think there's a little bit more going on in Dallas than we sometimes give them credit for. However, they'll screw it up.
Well, I look at it more this way. Obviously, who knows what the future holds, but I don't know how this becomes more than a both teams win situation. Like, at best, the Packers still have Micah Parsons. And the Cowboys might also end up with picks of guys that end up helping their team and aren't complete busts. But it's not going to be a trade that ends up to where the Packers get fleeced because, I mean, we've already seen the impact that Micah Parsons can make. Mm-hmm. It's a proven point. So I don't know. I still am not. I feel like we're tying in a little bit more to this, just that there's the position and that it was the first round. I think if you really take a step back, some of these guys, maybe they were highly ranked or there were a lot of positives about them, but they're still in a weak draft. Like, this is not supposed to be a draft that these are guys that we're going, look out for this playmaker that's going to take the field immediately. Best we've seen in 10 years.
18 of those.
According
to Wayne Larrivee, there was 18 of those impact guys that had first-round grades that you could expect to come in and make a difference on your team right away. How'd you do hate watching the Lions and the Vikings and the Bears?
Okay. There was nothing that really got me angry. I'm a little mad at Rami. I wanted Rami to be really focused in on, what he was trying to, what they wanted, what he wanted the Bears to do. And the fact that he was like, listen, they were pretty good. Just, add some pieces here or there.
Yeah.
I was like, how do I hate watch that?
They don't have many picks left. 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and then 2 in the seventh. They took the Bears, a safety/DB from Oregon yesterday at the 25th pick overall. The Lions added to their offensive line with Blake Miller at the 17th pick overall. They only have 1 pick today, 2 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth, 1 in the seventh. And then the Vikings, I thought it was interesting, they added to the D-line with Caleb Banks. I did not realize going into yesterday's first round that it was Lions at 17, Vikings at 18. At least that's where they ended up picking.
Yeah.
They have 1 in the second, the Vikings, 2 in the third, 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, 3 in the seventh. So we'll continue to hate watch them, but that was a nice little, I wonder if we can hate watch the draft. I don't know. Probably not so much.
Yeah. I honestly, I went into it more thinking that there was going to be more of a reason to, and it was kind of meh. Like you said to start the show, the whole thing was meh. Their picks were meh. The reaction was meh. It was, all right, Packers fans, we made it through. Now we get to be on the clock today.
Pittsburgh crowd, not meh. 305,000 showed up, which easily you go, oh, well, Green Bay was full. What did we have? 100,000 less people.
Yeah.
We had 205,000. Impressive crowd in Pittsburgh. Indeed, the Packers are on the clock now. It's round 2 that starts this evening. The Packers have the 20th pick in round 2, 52nd overall, and then 1 pick in the 3rd round, 20th pick in round 3, 84th overall. But we know we have a lot of picks next year, and we have a number of picks in late rounds this year. So we'll see if we get more picks, move up, move back, what it may be. But no more need to just sit there and I think we actually get to watch some Packer stuff today.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Brewers play today, too. And they played yesterday.
Brewers.
Listen, it was a very good road trip for the Brewers. All we ask is that they come back home 500, and that's what they did. They won the series 2-1 in Miami, and they unfortunately lost the series yesterday in Detroit on this walk-off home run.
Torkelson to left. Back, Lockridge, it is gone. And Spencer Torkelson ends this game with a home run. He homered yesterday, and today he homers against Abner Uribe to walk off the Brewers and win the series 2 games out of 3.
I have questions on how we're managing the bullpen now.
Oh, welcome to where I've lived and built a house.
Managing, or you've been upset at the bullpen. I'm starting to have questions as to how we're managing our pitchers. No part of the Brewers game yesterday should have had Angel Zerpa in there as the save setup man, especially after how much Trevor McGill pitched the inning before that. I feel like we're not allowing pitchers right now that are doing well to maybe stay in there a little bit longer. Can Trevor McGill only pitch 1 inning ever?
I don't know that. This to me is a sign that there's not a lot of trust and confidence in the bullpen right now from Pat Murphy. And if I'm being honest, there shouldn't be. It doesn't matter who you put out there in what situation. No one has proven from this bullpen that they can handle their S, that they can do what they need to. And that's a problem. And when that's the case and you can't rely on a guy in the 8th and the 9th to consistently get the job done, and then figure out who's going to be your middle relief and count on them to do it when they need to be there, you're going to have question marks. You're going to have these problems. You're going to try to do whatever you can to fix this, to get that confidence, and it's not working. The bullpen just is the most unreliable part of this team right now, which is crazy because the offense is struggling heavily. Too many people in this lineup are batting 200 or less, and yet it's the bullpen. When the bullpen guys come out, that's when I'm worried. Crazy. Not okay.
The bullpen yesterday, ironically, wasn't terrible. They just didn't get the job done towards the end. Ashby came in, gave up a hit, but no runs. Grant Anderson, no hits, no runs. Trevor McGill, a perfect inning. No hits, no runs. And then Zerpa. And then Uribe. It looked like Abner Uribe could not get comfortable on the mound at the end of that game. He was constantly spinning out of his follow-through. Did you see that, Josh? He would plant and then spin. That's not typically how it's supposed to end. The commentators, by the way, audio courtesy of Brewers TV.
Yeah.
But they even noticed, like, why is he spinning out after he's throwing a pitch? It seemed off.
Yeah, it was it wasn't right, but to be honest with you, it's and you said how they end it. They pitched well until the end. Well, that's been the frustrating part. That's what we've seen. And it doesn't matter who's in there. It's someone near the end is the one that's giving up the runs. That's making, we're fighting back. We're clawing back. We're doing what this team is known to do, and they just can't hold on. And I feel like they keep trying things to make up for it. What's Murph going to do next? He's going to put Ashby in the 9th? Is that I mean, like this is the point. You have guys that are getting paid to do their job that just aren't doing it. And I feel like at this point, going through everything else, Murph is kind of just grabbing at straws here, trying to figure out what might stick.
And yet, all we ask for is that they're 500 on the road, and so they return today 500. They're against the Pirates at home tonight. And is it Skeens? I think it's Skeens.
It's Skeens. And I'm not sure that I agree with the 500. I want to win series. I want to win the series. Yeah.
On the road, let's get 500. Maybe, listen, my expectation if we're going to stay near the top of our division, if we just do simple math, if we win our series at home and come back home off a road trip at 500, that's very, very winning baseball.
You know what else I think frustrates me is that it's the same feeling I had when the Packers lost to the Bears. It's like, yeah, okay, you went up against school. It was going to be a tough day. And it was a game that you were predicted to lose. Okay? You're injured, you're beat up, you're going against a Cy Young pitcher, reigning. But you had him. You got to him. You had the lead. And then you blew it. And so it's one thing to go into the game being like, yeah, very unlikely Brewers win this one. But then when you put yourself in a position to win that game and you overcame the adversity that everyone shoved in your face saying this is why you're going to lose, and then you blow it in a completely different way, oh, that makes for a frustrating day of being a sports fan. Oh, that was tough.
6 games straight at home starts tonight, 6:40 against the Pirates. Packers check, Brewers check, Badgers.
Badgers.
Swipe right. Moving on. Bucks.
Bucks.
A little bit of noise yesterday from the Milwaukee Bucks organization. All right, there's a lot to unpack here. We are all aware at this point that the Milwaukee Bucks have hired a new head coach in Taylor Jenkins. Here's our favorite guy in Shams.
With or without Giannis Antetokounmpo on this roster, whatever style you want to play, Taylor Jenkins is seen as that type of coach, whether you're trying to compete now, whether you're trying to build for the future. He's shown that he can really contend and play and drive competitiveness in any type of area a franchise is in.
And get used to that, with or without Giannis, because that we're unsure of. And there's all sorts of different ways to read into what happened yesterday and all the different reports. I saw an awesome news segment from Carly Murata, who's the sports director at today's TMJ4, on her Twitter page at Carly_Murata. She's doing this thing now called Murata Mic Drop, and she talked to Lori Nickel from the Journal Sentinel and asked Lori, is this a good pick, a safe pick for head coach? How do you feel about Taylor Jenkins being the new head guy?
Well, he's definitely a safe pick because that's exactly what the Bucks needed. They took a chance with the previous 2 coaches. But what's funny about this is that this coach worked under Mike Budenholzer for 6 years. And when you hear about Taylor Jenkins, you hear about some of the same things: pacing, space, and defense. And that's basically what Mike Budenholzer was all about. But right now, this is what Milwaukee needs: a veteran coach, but who's still young enough to implement the system.
Do you agree with that, Josh?
Yeah. I have no problem with the pick at head coach. And it seemed to be from everyone else that was talking that he was the front runner, that he was the highest ranked, I guess, if there was ranking of free agent head coaches and someone that the Bucks were going to be looking for. So it's not like they reached and took a guy that has me going, what the hell? Which is what they did. Or all of our reactions for the most part when they brought in Doc. So I like that my reaction gets to be a little bit different than it was when Doc Rivers was hired.
And so now we play the waiting game and also the debate game. Did Giannis meet with him? Did Giannis not meet with him? Did Giannis have a say? Did Giannis not have a say? Is Giannis gonna stay? Is Giannis not gonna stay? We'll try to break all that down coming up in the Malott Meets Morning Mind Dump. There's a little bit of back and forth on the old socials yesterday between Sean Wright and our guy Shams, which is fascinating because they both work for ESPN. And so at the end of the day, they too are in disagreement as whether Sean and Shams believe or don't believe that Giannis met with Taylor Jenkins. And so let's just ask Lori. She seems to have a fairly good handle on all of this stuff here in Milwaukee. Did Giannis meet with him, Lori?
Absolutely. I think that John Horst consulted Giannis Antetokounmpo. It's been that way in the past. Why would it change this time? It's just been kind of an illusion of who's really like controlling things, the owners, the GM, or Giannis.
That's the biggest question right there. If Horst and Giannis talked about this and Giannis met with them, which we don't know, which I very much think that Giannis is now talking out of both sides of his mouth, but we'll get to that in the mind dump. Who's running the team? Is it the owners? Is it Horst? Is it Giannis? Is it Horst and Giannis? Is it Horst and the owners? And what does the term top brass mean? There's a lot cooking here in Milwaukee, and it's only going to get more interesting.
It's true.
Do we think he's staying? After this hire, Josh, is Giannis staying?
I think we're going to talk about that in the morning mind up.
Do we think Giannis has the ability to make the decision to stay? Is kind of what I'm thinking about.
That's I think he always has.
Well, not this year. He doesn't. He's under contract. And so if Milwaukee wants him to be in Milwaukee this year, Milwaukee gets to say you're in Milwaukee this year. And Giannis has said he's not asking for a trade.
Yeah.
And he seemed to be in Milwaukee the other day via his social media platforms.
And the Bucks brass already said, if Giannis doesn't sign the Supermax, we're going to trade him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not staying in Milwaukee if he doesn't sign. The Bucks will trade him at that point. So it is up to Giannis.
Not whether he stays in Milwaukee. The brass is going to make the decision on whether to move on, whether not to or to move on. If he doesn't sign the Supermax, the brass will decide that Giannis isn't staying in Milwaukee.
Yep.
If he signs the contract will say Giannis is staying in Milwaukee.
Yep.
It is an interesting spot. But nonetheless, all the news yesterday said Taylor Jenkins is the guy with or without Giannis. Lots more to come on that. All right. Anything else?
Anything else?
Josh, anything else?
No, that's it. Now you just got me all fired up for for the morning mind up. This is gonna be a fun one. I'm excited. I'm excited for that conversation. And I'm excited for the draft. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know that it was frustrating for Goody. Goody said yesterday, like, all right, hey, we made it through that. I felt like all of us as Packer fans, like, all right, we made it through that. It was the first time in a long time where there wasn't some type of first round pick to do something with, whether pick a guy, trade out, do something. Not being able to come on the radio this morning and be angry about the pick or lack of pick. We got through it. Looking forward to tonight.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. If you would have had Giannis sign a part of your body, Josh, when you met him, rather than your jersey, I have two questions in the I have question portions of the show. Number one, would you have gotten it tattooed on you? And number two, would you have had him still signed to Josh and got that tattooed on you as well?
Well, good questions. I definitely have answers.
Is there an autograph that you would actually have tattooed on your body? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. You can pick any celebrity from any era, dead or alive. If you had their signature and they signed a piece of your body, would you get it tattooed? And if so, who is it? 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
When things just don't add up, Trevor and Josh ask the hard questions or just point out how messed up stuff is.
I only have one question. Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious. Do you view this season as a failure?
You asked me the same question last year.
What's the most important question the Badgers have to answer Saturday?
This is a great question. Oh my God, this is a great question.
It's time for I Have Questions on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. In the portion of the show where we ask you, what questions do you have? And on Friday, it's really, how's your life? What questions do you have about life that Josh and I can help you answer? Because, listen, I don't know about you, Josh, but when they have questions, we have answers.
Yeah. And they are almost always the right answer.
Almost always. The best part is you don't know. Actually, well, sometimes you do know if it's not the right answer. And boy, do you let us know that you know that we don't know. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. All right. Josh, the question today, amongst others, is if Giannis would have autographed your arm, your leg, your calf, I don't know, a portion of your body. Two questions. Number one, would you have that tattooed on your body? And number two, would you still have had him go to Josh and then have that tattooed as well?
So I'm going to answer these in opposite order. It would not say to Josh because it's on me. So I don't need anyone to know who it's to. It was to me. It's on my body. Second, I don't think I would. If there was an athlete, any athlete that I would do it for, it would be Giannis. And I just don't think that I would get that. I feel like the only way that I do that is if there's something else around it, right? Like if I got a Giannis
with a heart
tattoo, some cool looking, mean mugging, some type of actually well drawn out tattoo, and then had the signature be a part of it, sure, maybe then. But if I just have like the scribble words of the tattoo on my body, no, I don't think I'd do
anyone?
That. It would be Giannis, if anyone. I just don't think I would.
You're not a tattoo guy.
I don't have any ink. I'm way too indecisive. I'm way too indecisive because I understand they say, well, it used to be permanent. It's not as permanent now. They have it's permanent enough. It's a decision you make that you don't go into with the intent of saying, I can always remove it if I change my mind.
Yeah, it doesn't wash off. This ain't permanent marker. Grab the alcohol swab. It's a fairly permanent decision.
What about you?
I can't think of one. I do want ink in the worst way. I don't have any yet, but over the weekend, I think I finally decided what my tattoo is going to be. Now I just need to put it together. I'm not going to spill the beans. Can't, but at least I think I know now. Like you. What?
I'm just picturing right across your chest, just the Inside Wisconsin logo. It's just in a foot by 1 foot area, just covering the whole thing. Just a big
t-shirt,
just a big banner right across your chest. I'm always advertising.
That's funny. Yeah, I just can't think of somebody's signature that I would do, even from the past. Like, is there anybody that sticks out to me? I mean, man, I am a huge Garth Brooks fan. That I might consider that. But that's not, I don't know, man. That's not me. Here's the problem. I've learned that tattoos are wildly addictive.
Oh, so you think if you get one, you're just going to end up getting a bunch?
If it doesn't hurt like a son of a bitch, then yeah, I think I'm going to get a bunch. But I also think it hurts like a son of a bitch. So I don't know. I'm honestly, Josh, that's my biggest fear. Listen. I'm soft.
Yeah.
I don't want a bunch of needles in my arm over and over and over again. Well, Trev, that's how it works. I know. That's why I don't have one yet. It depends on who you ask. You ask someone, didn't even feel it. You just get used to it and you sit there. Other people, never again. Worst experience of my life. Hate it. Love my tattoo. That was awful. So unless it's something tolerable, I'm probably going to get the one that I have in mind, and that's it.
And that's the one. Yeah.
Unless Garth Brooks signs my arm or something, then I might consider it.
Well, they also say where you get the tattoo makes
Mhm.
a big difference in on the pain scale. So, are you putting it in a place that is, less? I
don't know.
Painful.
I don't know. My tattoo will be right here on my forearm.
Right on the
here.
forearm.
Yep, right here.
Okay.
And I have no idea if the forearm is a tender spot or a normal spot. You see a lot of sleeves.
Right.
Half sleeves, forearm sleeves. I've heard the elbow. No bueno.
Yeah. Definitely don't do that. No, thank you. No, thank you.
414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law talk and text line. Scotty Tiffany says, I have no tattoos and I plan to stay that way, but I would most definitely get Sterling Sharp's autograph tattooed. My only exception. Well, there you go.
Then never say never.
That's the question.
Carrie from Tosa says, at the Brewers pep rally 2 years ago, a girl had Donald Driver sign her whole forearm for a tattoo. He said it stressed him out because he wanted it perfect, and no one requested that before. It was an amazing autograph, by the way. Yeah, that's the other thing, right? You think about how many autographs these guys sign. If you're thinking that you're going to get that autograph tattooed, you best be letting that athlete know or that celebrity know up front. Hey, take your time with this one because it's going to be permanent on my body.
But is that worse? Because I don't know about your signature, but when I take my time, I screw it up. Just.
No, I don't know. I want for someone who's signing as much as an athlete does, I want to give them the heads up. Hey, don't just rush through this one as you're talking to someone else. Take your time with it, please.
The 414 says, outside of parents and children, hell to the gnaw, am I getting another man's name tatted on me?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? A lot of people will get that like with family, but then it's not like a signature. Usually you're just getting like their name. This is a signature. We're not saying like, would you just get in Times New Roman, Giannis tattooed on your forearm? This is a signature of that person.
Garbage Man Mike says, I would get a Gabe Kapler tatted on me, his signature, because I named my son after Gabe Kapler. That's awesome. Garbage Man Mike, good to hear from you. Hope the pinky is doing well.
Our girl Josie says she's got all the hookups whenever we're ready for tattoos. Go to her.
Is she a tattoo artist?
Or she knows people that are. And she said the forearm isn't bad at all. So there you go.
See, but okay. According to who?
You immediately. Yeah. Okay, but Josie, you just might be more willing to take the pain than I am.
I met Josie.
Uh-huh.
I am softer than Josie.
Okay.
100% chance.
Okay.
Josie would beat both of you and I up combined.
Yeah, well, that's true. Annie pointing out Kyle Kuzma's tattoos. Yeah, he's got a few.
There's Trevor's troll. What about Andre Dawson, Trev?
Yeah. Oh, it's a great point. Didn't even think about that.
Would I? I don't think I would. No.
Annie says if I had to get a sports person's tattoo, not saying she'd want to, but if she had to get an autograph, it would be Michael Jordan's.
Ooh, crap.
Oh,
I've got two.
Oh, did that just move the needle?
I totally forgot about. How did I forget about Jordan?
Because you were thinking within the state.
Well, yeah, I was thinking Garth Brooks is coming to Summerfest. 100% chance I'm going to that. By the way, Wednesday night. Join me if you'd like.
Trevor's
I'll
troll.
Well,
how do you feel about Michael Jordan being tattooed?
I think I'm definitely 100% chance. Damn it, that's the one. That is the one. Trevor, on the forearm, it feels like you're having your arm brushed against a pine tree really hard. Well, that doesn't sound great.
That could sound a lot worse. Okay.
Compared to what? What else?
I don't know.
Pitchfork to the arm a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm very confused by this one in the 4-on-4. Are there any listeners who would get your guys' names tattooed on them or maybe already have? No?
And don't.
No. If
Why
someone
would
ever
you
came
do
up to
that?
me and said, Josh, can you sign my arm? I want to get it tattooed. I would say, I really need you to rethink this decision in a lot of ways. I need you to go home. I need you to sit with this. I need you to think about it and then come back to me and you'll thank me later.
Bob in Minneapolis. What, are you going through a midlife crisis? If you've gone this long without one, why get one now? Doesn't make any sense to me. Hey, Bob, get curious, bud.
Yeah.
Not opinionated.
Yeah, who cares?
You have no idea what my tattoo is.
Wow. How about this in the 920? Hey, Trevor, you have that nice bald head. Be a perfect canvas. What about if you got like the tattoo of like hair? Like, you know what I mean? Like one of those where it make it look, you just
this.
cover. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm good being bald, bro. I just don't care.
Okay.
It is a pain in the royal ass to shave this thing every other day, every 3 days. That's the only part I don't like. Everything else, I'm good with.
You shave your head every day?
No, I can't.
Oh, God.
I will break out like a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah. I was going to
can't.
say, that's insane. There's no way I'd be able to dedicate that much time to it. I mean,
Quite a
as it
bit
is,
of
I just
upkeep.
wear a hat every day now.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Woof.
Do you wear a hat outside of the studio? Like, do you wear a hat all day, every day?
Usually. There are a few times, like if, Julie and I are going out on a like date night or something, or there's a special occasion or something to where a hat isn't appropriate, then I won't. But otherwise, yeah, I got a hat on.
So that's the hard part. I love hats, but being bald, that creates some acne-ish issues on the dome as well. I hate it. Ugh.
Yeah. Also, you've gone too long now without just being a hat guy. Like that's my plan. Like at some point I will bald. It's going to look terrible, but you won't know because I'll have a hat on because I always have a hat on.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talk and text line. If somebody signed your body, would you get it tattooed? If so, who? Let us know. When we come back, it's the most electrifying sound of the day. It's from the Brewers game, and let's be real, there wasn't a lot to choose from. How's that for a cliffhanger? Yeah, I see it. We'll read it when we get back. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I will block you.
Best text of the day.
It's time for
The most electrifying.
sound of the day
The most electrifying.
on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Brought to you by Best Electric. Learn more at bestelect.com. Don't stress. Connect with the best.
Line drive, base hit left field. Sanchez will score. On his way to third is Matos. They're going to send him. Here comes the relay. It's late. This game is tied 3-3 on a double by Perkins.
And that Blake Perkins double call courtesy of Jeff Levering and Brewers TV is the most electrifying sound of the day, brought to you by our friends at Best Electric. Remember, no job is too big or too small for Best Electric. Don't stress. Connect with the best. Call them today or visit bestelect.com. Trevor, I'm so mad that highlight is tainted by a loss. Because, first of all, Blake needed that, right? Struggling. Also, this is just another layer of Josh Albrecht comparing this team to last year's team. Blake Perkins being up in a huge spot against a elite pitcher has a great at-bat that leads to a double. Just like in game 1 of the NLDS against the Cubs. In that game where he was so clutch in that at-bat that ended up making Craig go to his bullpen. That takes Skubal out of the game. I'm going, let's go. It wasn't even for the lead at that point, but that was such a huge at-bat from a guy that absolutely needed it. And then the bullpen blows the moment.
A few moments later. We also were in the mix in the top of the 9th. We had a guy on second, Freelick, and nobody out. Nope, one out. But still, we got to be, that's extras right there. You got a guy on second, and there's one out. You have to score him in that position. And then you have to not throw a 99-mile-an-hour top-of-the-zone strike that gets put out of the park, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get to this text from JB in the 920.
Yeah.
If you're just joining us, the conversation in the I Have Questions portion of Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh is if you had someone that you think is the cat's meow tattoo your body. Giannis, Michael Jordan's come up, Garth Brooks. Would you get it tattooed? If they signed your body, would you get it tattooed? And if so, who is it? Rami came up in the chat from JB in the 920, who says, and I quote JB in the 920, this is not me, this is not Josh, this is JB in the 920. I'll get a Rami tattoo if he'll quit. If I do it.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Why? Do they fight a lot?
I guess, maybe. I just love that there's a commitment to hating a guy on the radio so much.
JB does a lot of driving.
It's true.
And we're grateful that JB listens to us from the time we come on the air until the time that the live and local part of the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network across the state of Wisconsin ends at 6 p.m. And then the stations go to whatever national blah, blah, blah they have. No offense to whatever blah, blah, blah you have.
Whatever the blah, blah, blah is. But either way, that was hilarious. Thank you, JB. Thank you for that. Can't wait to let Rami know.
The Wisconsin Sports, are we crossing over with Rami? We're not sure yet.
We don't know yet.
Because John's in Pittsburgh.
Either way, I'm telling him.
And now there's people doubling down on that. Oh, my God.
Are we going to get like a GoFundMe, like a petition.org, a change.org petition? Here's the thing, Rami. We have 400 signatures of people that'll get your name. That's a good question. I have questions. How many signatures would it take knowing that people were going to get your signature tattooed on their body legitimately for you to quit your job?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
None. I'm not quitting my job.
100,000 people.
Don't care.
1 million people.
Dude, there's no amount. First off, I don't need anybody to have my name tattooed on their body. So the answer is 0. Secondly, I'm not quitting my job. Love my job. Jacob in a van. NASCAR Hall of Famer Jeff Gordon. That one I saw coming, Jake. No offense.
Yeah.
Oh, JB says it's because he's an idiot Cub and Bears fan. Well, I think we got that.
Yeah, right. Thank you. I was hoping that was the reason why it wasn't a personal vendetta.
The Balot Meets Morning Mind Dump is upon us, and it has Shams and Sean Wright and Giannis and the new head coach, Jenkins, written all over it. This is going to be a doozy. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Now, this is a special pick, not just because it's the Packers. This young man is here today, so we want to introduce him. So give him a good round of applause. With the 124th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Trevor Sorrell, defensive end, Texas.
Sorrell doesn't have far to walk to shake the hands of the people who drafted him. They're really across the parking lot here.
What's up, man?
How you doing? Let's go.
Heck yeah, man. This is awesome.
Sure it is.
I didn't know you were here.
Yeah, I've been here, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm already home.
You gonna stay in town till Thursday or what?
Yeah, I'm gonna see y'all later. Just ready to add to this great tradition, man. I can see the names, see the trophies, man. I'm ready to add to it, man. I can feel the energy, man. This is beautiful. This is a journey span.
Well, we had a lot of guys come through here from Texas, and you always asked who were the hardest workers. Your name was unanimous. Unanimous.
Audio courtesy of the Packers Twitter page. Man, their social media team has come a long way.
True.
They're damn good at what they do. Trevor Sorrell, the pick last year while in Green Bay, which nobody knew he was still in Green Bay, was a very special moment. Will there be more special moments for us to go, ooh, that's cool, when the Packers make their picks today and tomorrow? We're on the clock, Green Bay-ish. On the clock-ish. We at least have picks today.
Good enough.
What's up, Wisconsin? How are you? Good to see you. Happy Friday. We are inside Wisconsin Sports. I'm Trevor Thomas. He's Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. This is the time of the day when we allow ourselves to get things off our chest and out of our head. Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's bad. Sometimes it's ugly. I got a feeling today's is going to be a little ugly. At least for Josh, in regards to this whole Shams and Sean Wright and Giannis and Taylor Jenkins, John Horst, Jimmy Haslam. This is going to be a Bucks heavy morning mind dump, but we want yours, regardless if it's Bucks related or not. 414-677-1250. That's the Nicolay Law talk and text line. Put that seatbelt on and buckle in. It's time for the Malott Meats morning mind dump.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me.
The coffee is kicked in. We're awake and ready to roll. Let's get some things off our chest and out of our heads.
You don't know what it's like to be me out here for you. It is an up at dawn, pride-swallowing siege that I will never fully tell you about, okay?
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
We've got no food, we've got no jobs, our pets' heads are falling off.
It's time for the Morning Mind Dump, presented by Malott Meats. High-quality meats at a fair price, safely delivered to your front door. To learn more, visit WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Experience the power of the family meal with Malott Meats on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
The Wisconsin MeatMarket.com. WisconsinMeatMarket.com. It's the Malott Meats morning mind dump. And you can get 10% off of the meat of the month. You only got about a week left. Tenderloins, the meat of the month. What's the meat next month? Nobody knows.
Ooh.
It's worth it, though. WisconsinMeatMarket.com. Experience the power of the family meal with Malott Meats. Let's set this up here in regards to the whole Shams and...
Sounds good.
Is he right? Is he wrong? Sean Wright says he's wrong. Shams will say he's right till the cows come home. So what happened yesterday, in case you missed it, was that there was breaking news. The Bucks have hired Taylor Jenkins, 41 years old, as their new head coach. We know that name because he was with the Bucks in 2018 and 2019, an assistant under Mike Budenholzer. Giannis knows him. The organization knows him. Milwaukee knows him, and he knows us. And so when the news broke, immediately Shams was on whatever platform he was on, ESPN, whatever, talking about the situation. And Josh, I'll just preface this. I hate that this is to the point now where we have to nitpick specific words in his journalistic approach based on what's a lie, what's not a lie. Why does he keep using, just when you have anonymous sources, it leads down this path. And that's where we're at, because we don't now know who to believe, who's saying what, and so on. So yesterday, here's what Shams had to say in regards to if Giannis was involved in the conversation about bringing in Taylor Jenkins.
Was Giannis involved in any way in this coaching search, the way that stars often are when a franchise is looking for their next coach?
Look, I'm not aware of any involvement from Giannis in this search process. This was something that the Bucks genuinely led, feeling like Taylor Jenkins was their guy. This was the best coach under any circumstance. He has shown that throughout his coaching career.
Okay, not aware.
Yes, and that is important.
Not aware.
The choosing of those words is important. You can mark tape.
Yep. I completely agree.
I am giving Shams benefit of the doubt here.
Not aware.
He is not saying he was not
correct
part of it. He's saying, I am not aware of anything.
He goes on to talk about the hard decisions and the convos that the top brass, there's another word, words, and Giannis in conversing since the trade deadline.
We know the Bucks have hard decisions to make across this offseason with their veteran players, and that starts with a guy like Giannis Antetokounmpo. They had conversations at the deadline about him, and my understanding is that there's been zero communication between these two sides since the deadline as far as Giannis and the organization's top brass.
Okay, there we go again. Between Giannis and the organization's top brass. So this comes out yesterday, and everybody had the same reaction going, there he is. Hey, bud.
Yep.
Hi, Shams. Good to see you. Well, then Sean Wright comes out yesterday on X at Sean Wright NBA. Sean is spelled S-E-A-N because that's English.
Yep.
For some reason, Sean, does he live in Wisconsin? Because he's reporting on all sorts of Wisconsin stuff lately. Like yesterday, he broke news that the Milwaukee Brewers are set to call up the versatile infielder/outfielder Tyler Black. He's expected to join the club today in Milwaukee as Milwaukee continues to reshuffle its roster amid these recent injuries. He's also been quite loud about all the things going on with the NBA in terms of the Bucks and Giannis and Shams. And so he puts out this tweet yesterday that says the report from Shams in regards to Giannis not involved in the Jenkins hire and that there is no communication between the sides is entirely false. Pause. Whoa.
Yeah.
Sean Wright's featured on ESPN, Outkick, Pardon My Take, SI Now, etc., which tells me he's not an ESPN employee. He's an ESPN 1099er.
Sure.
And he says, Shams, that's false.
And it leads back to the same thing of, I don't know, right? This is the same thing we've gone through before. Sources per source, who the hell knows? I try to take my mind out of it. Here's the reason why I'm okay with what Shams said, and I still believe that Giannis was involved. Okay? Because if Giannis was in no way, shape, or form involved with this decision, then I am even more worried about who the Bucks just decided to make their head coach. There is a huge difference in who you are coaching in regards to this Bucks team if the team has Giannis on it or if it doesn't have Giannis on it. So if Taylor Jenkins, in talking to the Bucks, did not tell them, I am not accepting this job unless I get to talk to Giannis and find out one-on-one with Giannis where he is at, I'm not taking it. That needs to be a conversation.
Interesting.
You would be the craziest head coach in the world to look at the mess that just happened over the last season with this Milwaukee Bucks team and organization and go, that's where I want to go. That's where I'm going to find success, and not even question if Giannis is going to be on that bench or in a different city. What I'm getting, all of these things factor into it. If Taylor Jenkins in no way, shape, or form is doing his due diligence to look into any more of what he may or may not have with his team, then I'm worried about who he's going to be as the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Well, then I think you should get worried because Taylor Jenkins was accepting that job here in Milwaukee, whether Giannis was here or not.
But I'm not saying that. I'm saying if he didn't take the time to want to talk to Giannis about it, find out from Giannis what he's thinking, what his problem was with Doc.
Why?
Because he was the face of the franchise that now I'm taking over. That's
right,
just being a good head coach.
In regards to him taking the head coaching. I mean, Lori Nickel came out yesterday. We played the audio earlier via Carly Murata from TMJ4. There's only 30 NBA head coaching jobs out there. So why do you think, Josh, that Taylor Jenkins would have been dependent on Giannis talking whether to or not to take the job? And why would that have affected his decision? Because let's be real, he's unemployed. He needs a job and he wants to be a head coach of the NBA. So you kind of take what you're given in terms of opportunity.
No, there were more opportunities. He could have gone somewhere else. There are other coaching spots available. It's not like the Bucks were the only one.
Well, but the Bucks really wanted him.
You don't think other teams talked to him?
No, of course I do. I'm saying the Bucks really wanted him. And so whatever offer they put in front of Jenkins, my point is Jenkins was taking this job, whether Giannis was going to be here or not. And it wouldn't surprise me if he talked to Giannis, but it also wouldn't surprise me if what he talked to Giannis about had nothing to do with him accepting the job.
Sure. The whole point of what I'm saying is that if Giannis talked to Taylor Jenkins in any way, shape, or form, he was involved in this decision. There was some type of involvement.
Giannis was involved, is what you're saying.
Yes, there was some type of involvement, whether it was Giannis saying you absolutely should be the coach here, regardless of if I'm here or not, or talking about the city, or talking to Jenkins and then going back to the brass to give his opinion to the team, regardless of what Giannis's decision is going to be. There's that level to where if Giannis wasn't involved in any way, shape, or form, and there was no conversation that took place, I would be stunned. And I would be severely worried about the decision in general.
So Giannis' involvement is a little bit different than Giannis having an opinion or say. And so it wouldn't surprise any of us if Giannis was indeed involved, had a conversation with Taylor Jenkins. It wouldn't surprise us that the Bucks said Taylor Jenkins is our guy, regardless of whether Giannis is back or not. And there's some truth to that. Taylor Jenkins knows the team, knows the city, knows the arena, knows everything that you would need to know about the Milwaukee Bucks organization. Although he was here in the previous ownership regime. The other words that are being difficult right now to kind of see through the lines on are the words top brass. Who is the Bucks' top brass? Some would say Giannis. Some would say John Horst, the GM. And others would say it's the ownership group, specifically Jimmy Haslam, because they're the ones that move the needle.
Mm-hmm.
When Shams says that Giannis hasn't had conversations with the top brass since the trade deadline, who's he talking about?
That's a great question. Honestly, for me, that kind of goes back to the whole issue of not really understanding or trusting or maybe not even wanting to accept the three-headed monster that is the Bucks front office right now between Horst, Haslam, and Edens. Like, I don't know, but there's a lot of confusion there. And that's why I don't mind if Giannis is a part of the conversation, because I don't trust the Bucks front office. It's not solid enough for me. So having Giannis be a part of that conversation, I think is important. Do I think that it should be something to where Giannis is making all the decisions? No. It can't be, especially when we still don't know if Giannis is staying or not. And even if Giannis does sign the Supermax, it doesn't mean that like he's locked up here. Like he could sign it and then in 2 years demand a trade. Like who knows? Like this will never end. But it's my confidence in the Bucks front office still is wavering enough to where I don't mind if they go to Giannis and they say, what are your thoughts on this guy? Or Giannis goes to them and says, I like this one. Or says to the Bucks front office, let me talk to him first. I'm fine with all of that. I'm fine with that level of involvement. What I'm not okay with was what we heard, which were all rumors, but what we heard about how Giannis straight up said to the Bucks, I want Adrian Griffin. Hire him. That's not okay. And obviously that didn't pan out. And then they went with Doc Rivers, who then was, I think, who the front office wanted. I don't even think that's who Horst wanted. And obviously that didn't work out. So maybe it's time that all of the sides start talking to each other and make a decision together. Does that not make sense based on what the organization's been through?
And yet nothing would surprise us.
But to me, that all goes back to the lack of confidence.
There's a lot of feedback on the Nicolay Law Talk and text line, and it's very mixed. 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Number one, someone says Wes Edens is the current governor. What does that mean? He's the managing partner?
I believe so. It's like a...
Does that matter when it comes to whether Jimmy Haslam wants something or not?
I think it just means like if there's a disagreement, if someone has to get the final say. Right
Doesn't
now,
that come down to shares?
No, I think that's literally why they have that in place of who's the current governor. Because it's not, if I remember correctly, that's not like the setup of a permanent thing. That's like it switches back and forth year by year or 2 years by 2 years.
The 414 says, I pray Giannis had nothing to do with this hire based on what this team became after letting him call shots. There's unfortunately some truth to that. And we've seen that in other organizations too. The only time this seems to be where ownership and players of Giannis's caliber play nice in the sandbox, and somebody brought this up earlier, and we didn't get a chance to read it. What if Giannis chose to take less than the Supermax so that the Bucks had more money in the salary cap to go and surround him with the right players?
That doesn't seem to be the issue in the NBA. It's not as hard of a cap in, like the NFL. You go into the luxury tax, they'll do that if that needs to be what needs to be done. The bigger issue is who are you going to get that's out there as a free agent, and looking at what you can do with picks and knowing that they traded away every single first round pick they had for a decade to try to bring in guys from other teams and make deals to put around Giannis. It's not about the money they pay him.
The 608 said Jenkins was not taking this job regardless if Giannis is here or not. Milwaukee is career suicide if Giannis isn't in Milwaukee. So I don't know if I believe that either. There's a lot of coaches, young coaches. Jenkins, 41 years old, just came off of a decent stint with the Memphis Grizzlies, which had a lot of people puzzled as to why he was being let go from there with a winning record. There's only so many of these jobs. And there's a lot of guys, like young guys, like Taylor Jenkins, that actually are fired up by the opportunity to rebuild the team, rebuild the culture, rebuild the program, rebuild the winning ways. That doesn't scare professional coaches in any layer of anything. Now, it's per the individual, but that's just not a blanket, oh my God, why would you ever take the Bucks job? I have one personal comparison in Sundance Wicks. Sonny Wicks came into the UWGB men's basketball program, and it was beyond in shambles. And he said, challenge accepted. There's a lot of dudes like that out there, and gals like that out there, that aren't willing or aren't unwilling to take the bull by the horns and go, I'm the guy. I'm your person for this job, regardless of what the situation is. That's saying something.
Yeah. However, there's, again, a difference between a coach just accepting a job and a coach doing his due diligence. I'm telling you that if Taylor Jenkins did not look at Giannis as a factor in making this decision, that's crazy to me. Because he's here. He's still here now. So even if he doesn't want it, right? Because I know that you're done with Giannis. Like, you're ready for them to trade and move on. And
I'm done with the drama.
Yeah, but you're also ready for the Bucks to move on. You said that.
I'm ready for
Doug
them
Gottlieb's
to
in the
move
same
on
boat
from this.
You guys are ready.
This is annoying.
This being Giannis, you said he's the nucleus of the problem. Right. So I get it. That's your opinion on it. What I'm saying is even if Taylor Jenkins is okay with that, he still needs to do his due diligence to find out if that's the case. He's going to talk to him to find out, am I coaching a team with Giannis, or am I coaching a team with a bunch of young players that I'm getting in draft picks? Am I looking at the next 3 years of my coaching career going, all right, I'm going to have a new guy, a new first-round pick this year, maybe 2 this year if they trade Giannis, plus a first in the next 2 years. I'm going to have my work cut out for me, but I'm going to be growing this program from nothing. Or am I going to have Giannis here and the focus is still going to be around Giannis? If you are a head coach in the National Basketball Association and you cannot know that answer or have an idea of what that answer is going to be, and you still go, yeah, sure, okay, well, I have a ton of questions for you. I don't know how you make that decision.
I think there's probably a difference between him having those conversations and those conversations determining whether he's going to take a job or not.
I guess I don't know. Like, this is my take on it, is that I think that Giannis was involved, because if he wasn't, I'm worried about Taylor Jenkins.
414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. It's a Top 5 Friday, and the Packers are on the clock. 1 pick in the second, 1 pick in the third tonight, 6 picks tomorrow in rounds 4 through 7. And it got Josh and I thinking, both of us being 90s kids, who have been the top 5 best Packers draft picks since 1996. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. We don't need your top 5 list. You're happy to share one. But what are some of the names that come into mind? Who are the Packers' best draft picks from 1996 through the 2025 NFL Draft? We'll give you our top 5 when we come back. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. A top 5 Friday on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh and the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. What's up, Wausau? Good morning to you guys on 93.9 The Game. Duluth Superior, top of the morning to you. 710 The Game up there. 99.7 FM WNFL in Green Bay in the Fox Valley. That's where I am. What up, Green Bay? And what up, Appleton in the Fox Valley? And what up, Milwaukee, where Josh is at 12:50 a.m. and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
Good morning.
A top 5 list of the top 5, in our opinion, best, keyword, in our opinion, the top 5 best Packers draft picks as we head into rounds 2 and 3, where the Packers actually have picks starting today and obviously tomorrow and 4 through 7. Josh and I decided to take Aaron Rodgers and Jordan Love and just put them in a camp by themselves over here.
Right, because otherwise they're taking up 2 of the 5 spots, and then it's not as fun.
Kind of seems silly. And there's a lot of people that mention Rodgers in their list already on the Nicolay Law Talk-In text line, 414-677-1250. The Nicolay Law Talk-In text line is where we want you to send us your list or just the names you think should be on the list of the top 5 greatest Packers draft picks since 1996. Hashtag 90s kids.
Mm-hmm.
So before I start my top 5 list, I just want to give an honorable mention to Vince Beagle, because if we don't choose Vince Beagle and instead take TJ Watt, then this list has a clear number 1 and it's not even close. But we didn't. So thanks, Vince.
Okay.
Jeez, that was so
Before
bad.
you go through your list, can I just ask you one question?
Yeah.
What is the most recent draft that you have a player from on your top 5 list?
2014. Nope. 2000. Complicated.
Okay, I'll tell you. Mine's
My
2014.
Okay, so that's where mine landed, and I have an honorable mention at 1A from an early, like a more recent draft.
Okay.
That I'm super excited about.
Okay. I'm curious because when I'm looking at this, I'm like, it has been over a decade since I can say that we've had a non-QB top 5 pick.
How much, though, does that play into we haven't had enough time with some of these guys?
No, I really don't know that there are that many guys, at least unless you take out maybe the last 2 years. But anyone from 2023, 2014 to 2023, I'm going, I've had enough time to know if you would make this top 5 list.
Oh, God. I think that there is one person from 2015 to 2023 that is on its path to be in the top 2.
Wow. Okay.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Now I'm excited.
Number 5, we probably share this one, although it may not be the same number. Mark Tauscher.
Not on my list.
Not on your list.
Nope.
7th round pick in 2000. His career speaks for himself. Go-to offensive lineman. Very few worries with him there. And just an all-around, could there possibly be a more Wisconsin guy?
Sure.
Grew up here, played here.
Yep.
Number 4, Nick Collins. Oh, what could have been.
Not on my list.
All right. 2nd round in 2005.
Yep.
Nick Collins was on his way of being an NFL Hall of Famer, let alone maybe one of the best defensive backs in Packer history, and then got a neck injury and had to call it quits. I don't know if we win the Super Bowl 45, without Nick Collins. That's how important he was.
Yep.
Number 3, I know when he was drafted, Todd, 2006, 1st round pick, AJ Hawk.
Interesting.
Not on your list?
Not on my list.
Okay. I have questions about your list. Big questions.
Yeah. Okay.
All-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers. That gets pounded into our head every day on the Pat McAfee Show. Yeah, AJ Hawk. Number 2, Clay Matthews.
He's on my list.
Hell, Jesus. 1st round pick in 2009. Absolute game changer. And again, back to that Super Bowl. It is time, Clay. And it was. And he made it happen. And number 1, and I'm annoyed by this because I do think he was the best draft pick since 96. I think he made one of the, if not biggest, impacts on a consistent basis on the team. I'm bummed at that he's not on the Packers anymore, but I also understood when the Packers chose to not have him be a Packer anymore, and that's Davante Adams.
Also on my list.
Round 2, 2014. Now, here's where it gets a little squirrely for me. I did spend some time, by the way, that's 5. I did spend some time, though, to your point, Josh, looking at the draft picks for the Packers from 2014 through what I called 2023. And there is one name in there who I think makes this list easily if his play continues to be what it appears it could be. Any guesses?
Tucker Kraft.
Yep. Absolutely. If he continues to be as dominating as it appears he can at the tight end position, I even looked at all the other tight ends that we've drafted in that time frame from 96, and there's been many impactful tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
Tucker Kraft seems to be in a league of his own.
I hope so. He's still got a way to go to prove to me that he's in the top 5 though.
I know
of this list,
but that's 1A. Maybe it's just hopeful.
All right.
So we shared 2. That's bonkers.
Yeah. My first is David Bakhtiari.
Yeah, I know. I did some thinking on him. It's really a bummer that he went through what he did, but I understand that one. That makes sense to me.
I feel like when you have a Hall of Fame future Hall of Fame quarterback like Aaron Rodgers and not needing to worry about him because you had a guy like David Bakhtiari, you're in the top 5.
Yep, that makes sense.
Number 4 was Davante.
Okay.
Davante is number 4 for me. The only reason why I think Davante wasn't higher was because he never got a ring. Like, he never got to the promised land with, the Packers. And I mean, he was elite. I mean, absolutely proved that. And also was like the first wide receiver that I can really remember making a name for themselves in Green Bay and then going and continuing to play super well somewhere else too.
Do you feel like at the end of Davante's career, Rodgers seemingly felt like he was trying to force the ball to Davante Adams?
100%. It definitely became a time at the end where it didn't matter who else was on the field. It was, nope, this one's going to Davante. The thing is that as much as I hated that, it worked way too much. Like Rodgers just chucking it into triple coverage to Davante, and Davante's still coming down with the ball.
Except in the playoffs. It just seemed like
except when it mattered most.
Didn't work.
100%. So he's number 4 on my list. Number 3 is Clay Matthews, which maybe should have been a little higher, but I'm putting him Clay at 3rd. Number 2 is Mason Crosby. 6th round pick, 193rd overall in 2007. I understand he's a kicker. He's also the Packers' all-time leading scorer. And ever since he stopped kicking footballs for the Green Bay Packers, we have had problems with the kicker position. And that is what a lot of teams go through. And for a very, 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 very long time, the Packers didn't have to. He was clutch in so many moments for the Green Bay Packers. I don't know how you don't put him on that list. Plenty of teams have kickers that they don't even draft. They just bring a kicker in. He's on this list because he was drafted.
That makes sense, man. It was probably an oversight on my part. You're right. Ever since, Mason himself would admit that there was moments in his career that made us all go, oh boy, right?
Yep.
And towards the end of his career, he knew that his leg wasn't as strong. I think the NFL screwed Mason Crosby.
Yeah.
Look at all of the changes in NFL kickoff rules post Mason Crosby. If the NFL has these landing zone style rules, Mason would still be the kicker.
True. Well, I don't know. There's still something about the NFL's really into, can you make a 55-yard field goal super easily now? Yeah. They want a lot of leg.
But also in NFL terms today, though, Josh, versus when Mason was in his prime, how many more times do NFL teams go for it on 4th down that they never did when Mason was kicking?
True. And the number 1 on my list, I'm not going to lie, I cannot believe he was not on yours. Donald Driver.
Probably that means I missed it. Okay, tell me more.
Donald Driver, to me, since 1996, is the epitome of Green Bay Packer. I mean, just
But was he the best player?
How he handled. First of all, he was he absolutely played impact on that team getting a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But he also, I mean, he was a very, very good receiver for this team through his career. Could have done what other receivers did, Jennings, Jordy, and go and play a few more years somewhere else to get money. Didn't, and said, no, I'm a Packer. I'm going down as a Packer for life. And that also means something. When you find a guy, and keep in mind, what round was he in? What? Seven. So if you're telling me when you're looking at the picks that the Packers made, that you find a guy that's going to be that elite for that long in the 7th round, that then is going to play their entire career as a Packer and have that career be decided to end because of Donald Driver's decision and not because the Packers saying, yeah, you're just not good enough anymore. Yeah, that was a good pick.
I see all of the reasons from a Packers heritage, patriotism, one of us type of pick. Is he the best player since 1996 that the Packers drafted? That's where I would have questions.
Okay. I mean, I'll tell you this. He definitely deserves to be on the list.
Is he a Hall of Famer? Maybe that's a different list.
Yeah.
Top 5 potential Hall of Famers.
I don't know. I will tell you, my honorable mentions that didn't make it were Jordy and then TJ Lang and Brian Balaga. Having having those boys up front were huge.
And right there on the Nicolay Law talking text line, the 920. How did Brian Bulaga, Iowa, not make your list? Well, honorable mention. That's how.
I just said, give me a second.
JB in the 920 says, well done, Josh, on the Donald Driver ranking, a perfect number 1. He also says that Clay Matthews is overrated and that Nick Collins is over Matthews on this list all day in my book.
What about the 608 saying Donald Driver was a better Packer than Mark Tauscher?
Man, I think we have to look at criteria.
Because you did state, too, in your defense of Mark Tauscher, that when it comes to patriotism, if we're making a comparison saying just what it means to them being, the history and the culture and everything else, there's some similarities in defense there.
There is. I'm with you there. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Talk and Text line. When we get back, more of your reaction and your lists of the top 5 best draft picks the Packers have made since 1996. 414-677-1250. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Wendy's really outdid themselves with the new Biggie deals at $4, $6, and $8. The new Biggie deals are bigger and biggier than ever. If you're feeling something snacky, you can get the $4 Biggie Bites. Feeling something medium, you can get yourself a $6 Biggie Bag with a Junior Bacon Cheeseburger. If you want to go full Biggie, you can get the $8 Biggie Bundle with your choice of 2 sandwiches, a small soft drink, and a junior fry. The choice is yours. For a pretty Biggie deal, it's got to be Wendy's.
Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh on a Top 5 Friday. Josh and I both gave our top 5 lists of the top 5 best players that the Packers have drafted since 1996, and both of our number ones were identical. Donald Driver.
No. Hey. Take backs are on Tuesday, my friend.
Yep, I'm definitely taking that one back. 100%. Listen, at the end of the talking text line is lighting me up like a Christmas tree, and deservedly so. I didn't miss it. I definitely thought about it. Not long enough. It definitely should have been on my honorable mentions. I struggled delineating between him and Jordy and Greg Jennings and James Jones. Like, that was, wow, a stacked wide receiver room.
Mm-hmm.
And
True.
tenure and patriotism and all those things matter too. When I was looking at the list and going through all the picks.
But also all-time leader in catches, and, that stuff also plays a role.
414 says, just to be different from your list, how about Josh Sitton, Corey Linsley, Eddie Lacy, Nick Barnett, Vonnie Holiday? Damn, Vonnie would be proud of that.
So 414 just going, let's just go people that haven't been said before.
Yeah, but honestly, Eddie Lacy probably not, but Nick Barnett was a major impact. Vonnie Holiday, so now Trevor changed the rules. Yeah, duh, it was a joke. Josh Sitton, major player on the offensive line. Corey Linsley left too soon, gone too soon.
Man, there's so many people bringing up Driver to you now.
Oh, I don't care.
Like, we had lists. We had people that texted in their top 5 lists, and now they're just all buried under, how do you not have Donald Driver? All right, give me a second. Let me scroll. Gotta keep scrolling.
Pass. It's okay.
Let me keep scrolling.
Okay. Can't get them all right.
Okay. All right. I think I'm back here.
All right. What do you got?
Okay. Let's see. Nope. That one also about Driver. Okay. Jacob Mentosa said, well, he didn't understand the rules a little bit. We just post 1996. He has like Bart Starr, Nitschke. Okay. No. So he has Jordy on his list, though. He has Jordy and Devontae on his. The 608 has Josh Sitton, Nick Collins, Devontae Adams, David Bakhtiari, Donald Driver from 5 through 1. I'm going here. I'm going up more. Man. So I don't know if some people are just trolling with some of these picks. Like putting and some people didn't understand. Yes. We said no QBs. Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers not on the list. Not available. Here's the thing that I think is really interesting, though, Trev. The amount of people that didn't understand that rule and brought up Aaron Rodgers and didn't bring up Jordan Love. I'm curious if we would have opened this, and it's too late now, but if we would have opened this to everyone and said top 5, all those lists have Aaron Rodgers on it. I wonder how 100%. Many of those lists have Jordan Love. Because for the people that didn't understand that you couldn't include the QBs, not one of them included Jordan Love. All of them only had 12.
Put it in the notes.
Is Jordan Love not a top 5 pick in the history of?
Yeah. Is it too soon? Why or why not? That'd be a great conversation for next week, maybe. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talking text line. Joining us at the top of the next hour, the greatest draft pick of Packers all time, Donald Driver on the inside.
Stop it.
It's Bill Huber. Close second.
That's true.
Bill Huber, SI.com. We got a draft upon us, fans and friends. 1 pick in the second, 1 pick in the third, 6 picks tomorrow in rounds 4 through 7. So who could potentially get picked this year?
Bill Huber's going to tell us who they're going to pick. He knows already.
That may make this list in the future.
Ooh, good point.
Bill Huber also brought up that there was one person that went off the board yesterday that was someone the Packers wish would have fell to them. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law talking text line. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. Hey, look at that. Aaron Campman made somebody's list. Good for you.
It's time for your fan weather forecast, brought to you by Habish, and Rotier. Partly cloudy conditions today with a high of 67 degrees. It's currently 60 degrees here in Milwaukee.
I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to get along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Crowd is here, about to blow, waiting for me to start the show. Out the curtain, lights go up from home. Whoa!
Now, this is a special pick, not just because it's the Packers. This young man is here today, so we want to introduce him. So give him a good round of applause. With the 124th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Barron Sorrell, defensive end, Texas.
Sorrell doesn't have far to walk to shake the hands of the people who drafted him. They're really across the parking lot here.
What's up,
How
man?
you doing? Let's go.
Heck yeah, man. This is awesome.
Yes, sir, it is.
I didn't know you were here.
Yeah, I've been here, man.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm already home.
You gonna stay in town till Thursday or what?
Yeah, I see y'all. Just ready to add to this great tradition, man. I can see the names, see the trophies, man. I'm ready to add to it, man. I can feel the energy, man. This is beautiful. This is a journey span.
Well, we had a lot of guys come through here from Texas, and you always asked who were the hardest workers. Your name was unanimous. Unanimous.
Really awesome video that the Green Bay Packers put out on their social media platforms of Barron Sorrell's moment last year, round 4, a pick that he thought was going to happen a lot sooner. That's why he hung out in Green Bay. Just didn't expect Green Bay to take him, so that created an unbelievable. My favorite part about that video, Josh, is when Roger Goodell said he's here, and you can see Goody go, huh?
Where?
He's here?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Very cool.
Hour 3, Wisconsin, what's up? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports. Trevor Thomas and Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
And joining us now on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Bill Huber of SI.com and on the Packers beat for a number of years now, who quickly pointed out yesterday that the Miami Packers have selected the cornerback that Green Bay Packer fans wanted in Chris Johnson. So, Bill, now that he's off the list, I guess who's next here in round 2 for the Pack? Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, happy to do it. You know, they have so many needs. It's like there isn't a position in the world other than quarterback and probably linebacker that you'd be blown away by if they picked him right away. Whether it's immediate needs or, you know, year ahead needs like receiver where they only have 2 guys under contract for next year, and tight end they have nobody under contract for next year. But I do think they need to get a defensive tackle, a big guy for that 3-4 defense. And there's not a whole lot of those guys in this draft, and that kind of makes you think the supply and demand, if that guy is there, that might be where they go.
Interesting. So, yeah, Bill, I'm so thankful that you came on, because during free agency and, you know, that portion when that opened, you joined us and you were spot on with the motive and the idea of why the Packers were going to do what they did. They did exactly as you said. And I was like, perfect. Bill has a crystal ball. Let's bring him back on, have him tell us who the Packers are going to draft. And so I'm more looking at this, and this has been the big conversation of, do the Packers stay put, or do they move up or down with their first pick in the second round? Or is this whole draft, to your point, kind of, there's not really a guy as much as there is needs, so give Goody more bites of the apple?
Yeah, that's a great point. if they go up again, just because there's not a lot of defensive tackles, maybe that's where they'd go up for. But to your point, though, I mean, there's going to be a bunch of corners, probably. I think corner will stay strong in defensive end / edge rusher, whatever you want to call it. That's probably going to be strong. There should be offensive linemen there, and they need linemen basically at any spot because they don't have any clear-cut backups really anywhere. So, yeah, I could see him staying put. I could see him moving up in round 2 and then trading back in round 3 to pick up a pick. So you still have it at a net of 8. That seems to make some sense to me as well.
You were talking about the need and how it's really any position outside of linebacker and or quarterback. Where's the biggest need, though? Goody said cornerback and said that they really didn't have a need at offensive line, but then he used that word subterfuge, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Goody the old line question. I believe. I'm not buying the answer. I mean, if something happens to Jordan Morgan, who's your left tackle?
Mm-hmm.
If something happens to Sean Ryan, who's your center? Last year, this is from a staff from Warren Sharp at Sharp Football. The Packers' #1 line combination, or their most frequently used combination, played 18% of the snaps together. 18. That's not very much. Those guys get hurt. I mean, it's you're put in awkward spots. You get people rolling your ankles. Your knees get caught in the wrong spot. Like, I don't know who they're any of the back. I mean, they got Darian Kennard, who's a pretty good player.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all they got. I mean, Kennard is the only backup who's played more than 60 snaps in his career. So to think that Jacob Monk or Donovan Jennings or those guys can be competent at depth, I mean, he would know more than I do. I just don't see it. And the way that the offense kind of disintegrated without Zach Tom last year at right tackle down the stretch, I think you gotta fortify that and get one of those maybe a Green Bay special as a guy who can play 2-3 spots for you right away. And there are plenty of those guys in this draft.
Yeah, for sure.
So that kind of becomes the question then of, so you have the 8 picks, and as you mentioned, even if they trade up, they could also trade down to get that pick back. But how aggressive do you see them being in filling that cornerback position with just one guy, or are these biggest needs still going to be positions where they're taking multiples to try to see which one works out best?
Yeah, at corner, I mean, it's going to be multiple, I would think. Just because if you look the next year, Benjamin St. Juste is the one guy under contract. They have nobody else. So Keyshawn, you want to bring back Keyshawn Nixon, whoever, he's going to get paid for, Carrington Valentine. So you need to get better for today, but B, you have no one for tomorrow. So from that perspective, they just need numbers. They get them set up for next year.
Yeah, but
that's the one position where I think they kind of need a double dip, I would say.
On that point, though, you brought it up the last time you were with us. They have plenty of picks for next year.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're going to be able to get a lot of bodies in there for next year. So is that really just a concern at this point, or is it more just kind of on the worrying about today and this season, knowing you're going to be able to get multiple quarterbacks if you need in next year's draft?
Yeah, there's something to that. I also think there's something to having a guy ready to go. Like if you're the first corner you draft is a 4th round pick, let's say, I mean, he might not be ready for this year. And if that's the kind of talent pool you're picking, you better get him a year of seasoning before you have to throw him out there. I mean, if you're drafting a cornerback right away, maybe you don't need to double dip later. But I think if you're having to pick a guy later, you probably need to go get 2. Like the 2017 draft where they needed a running back, they didn't get one early, so they double dip with Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams in day 3. And the 21 draft where they drafted 3 linemen in the 6th round. They didn't draft any early, so they want Runyon, Jake Hansen, and Simon Stepaniak in the 6th round. So you just kind of throw a bunch of darts out there to make sure you have someone ready to go for the future. And that obviously ended up being Runyon, who started his 2nd year.
Mm-hmm. It was actually Cole Van Lanen in round 6 in 2021 what do you think of picks like that and how long the Packers hang on to guys? 2020, you were spot on. Round 6 was those 3 guys.
Yeah, okay.
But then you look at some guys like Cole Van Lannon or others that the Packers didn't hang on to, and they turn into something big time. So in regards to patience with the draft picks, by the way, we're talking with Bill Huber, SI.com, joining us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. How does the patience game play with the offensive line position? Because we've drafted a lot of them over the years.
Oh, man.
We just don't have a ton to show for it.
It's great. Dave's drafted 14 over the last 6 drafts. 14.
Yeah.
And if you include Aaron Banks and Kennard, that's 16 guys have added the last 6 years. And here we are talking about old linemen. It's wild.
That's my point.
The Van Lannon thing is interesting. Like the Packers' track record of when they get rid of guys is really good. Van Lannon is a total exception where I would say none of us watching those training camps ever thought Cole Van Lannon would become what did he sign for? Recently, $30 million kind of guy.
What million, I thought.
Yeah, whatever. That was like a gigantic, relatively speaking, contract. Didn't see that coming. Packers haven't made many mistakes like that.
All right, so tell me, Bill, what would surprise you in this draft for the Packers? If the Packers came out and got X or moved to Y, what would be that thing that you'd go, okay, I don't understand that at all?
Yeah, one of their 30 visits was used on, I think his first name is AJ Halsey, for a safety from LSU. He's supposed to be a second-round pick. That would surprise me. What the hell do you need a safety for? They got McKinney, Bullard, and Williams under contract for this year and next year. So that would surprise me, but they don't waste visits. So there must be some interest there. But using a second-round pick on a safety, that'd be something. Otherwise, really, yeah, nothing. I mean, they need every position. I mean, yeah. If they use their second-round pick on a quarterback, that surprised me. But if they use a fourth-rounder, it wouldn't. So they really need guys just to build depth really across the board.
So how does that make us feel as Packers fans about the team and where we sit right now? It's really weird to go into a draft and go, yeah, I mean, best player available, I guess. So what does that mean for this coming season? Because they were close, yet 26% of the team roster has already changed over from last year, not to include draft picks and whoever else gets signed in undrafted rookie free agent contracts. So how should we feel? Like, I was actually really excited about today, but now after talking to you, I'm like, damn, we're in trouble.
Well, look,
thanks, Bill.
I don't think Green Bay is any different than most teams. With the salary cap, you can't keep your veterans. You can only keep so many of them. It's like you're always trying to fill holes. Like Seattle just won a Super Bowl, and they've got 4 picks in this draft, and the GM John Schneider is saying he needs to get more picks. Why does he need more picks? Because he's got holes to fill. So I don't think Green Bay's unusual in this case that they need that. So does that make you feel better?
Yeah, my optimistic meter over here was in big trouble there for a hot second, but yeah, we're doing better now. Thank you.
Glad to help.
So usually they say that if there's not a solid backup at QB and your QB goes down, your season's over.
Yeah,
and I'm not even going to get into that if that's the case currently. If Jordan Love was to go down, we did not need to look at that worry as much when Malik was there, right? We saw Malik carry this team. What other position besides quarterback, though, since you're focusing on depth and needing to fill holes, what position specifically or player, if that player goes down, is this team in serious trouble if they don't have someone behind him?
I mean, just look at what happened without Zach Tom last year. They were even without Tucker Kraft, who is an unbelievable player. They were 9-3-1 going into Denver, and obviously Micah Parsons gets hurt that game too. But the offense went in the tank without Zach. Zach Tom is a great player. I don't use the word great lightly. I mean, great means something, and he's a great player. And we already hit on this. They have no O-line depth, so I mean that would be an enormous problem. Right now, there's who the hell is going to run? Who's going to carry the ball if Josh Jacobs is hurt again? Beats me.
Yeah.
They got no one. Parsons is going to come back, but at least to start the season, your edge players will be Lucas Van Ness and Barron Sorrell will start presumably, and Brenton Cox and Colin Oliver your backups. That's a problem. I mean, none of those guys have done anything. I mean, Van Ness, we're all
My
everyone's still
optimistic
kind of
meter's going down again.
yeah,
Damn it, Bill.
we're all in wishing and hoping mode for him. Parsons loves him, so that probably means something. So yeah, those are, and then they don't have enough defensive tackles right now either. So you better go draft some of those because you're going to get short in a hurry.
Josh and I just did a top 5 list on a Friday. The top 5 Packers draft picks since the 1996 season. It's a little too early to tell whether some of the guys over the last few years would make that list. But I'm curious to know your thoughts on the 5 guys that we really got right in the draft over the last, let's call it 20 years. You've been with the team that long, if not more.
God, I've had enough coffee to think that far.
Yeah, well, okay, so here's one while you think that
just
through.
top of mind. Leroy
Butler and Nick Collins were, I believe, both corners who became obviously a Hall of Famer for Leroy and probably would have been a Hall of Famer for Collins. I did something, I'm going to post it later. If you don't draft your quarterback in like the top 10, chances are your quarterback isn't going to be very good. Aaron Rodgers obviously defied that, and Jordan Love seems to be on his way. So I would think they nailed those picks just because of you don't usually get a franchise quarterback at that spot. So those Tucker Kraft in the third round is absurd.
Concur. I think he's going to do some crazy things if it continues. Pick a receiver. Who, like, if you had to say this was the pick at receiver for the Packers in the last 20 years?
Jordy. But man, they've hit so many receivers. I mean, if you want to make an argument for Greg Jennings, I'll be happy to listen to you. Devontae. What am I thinking? Devontae's number 1. Jordy's number. Look at the receivers. My God. These guys draft receivers like no one's business.
This is so funny.
I'll go Devontae. Devontae's going to the Hall of Fame. Jordy's not.
Now wait until your reaction. Okay, here we go.
All very good picks. The number 1 person on my list was Donald Driver.
Oh, it's a 7th round pick. That's like the steal of steals. Yeah.
And also leading the team all time in receptions.
But should he be on? Should he be?
He didn't make Trevor's list, and Trevor got beat up a little bit on the talking text line for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're grading on a curve, I mean, Driver is head and shoulders the best pick. I guess I'm just thinking Devontae is going to go to the Hall of Fame. So how do you?
Thank you.
If you're not grading on a curve
as well. Okay,
so
I'll go Devontae.
That brings up a good point. Yeah.
I mean, you're looking at a 7th round pick who's. I mean, there's something called the Hall of Very Good. I mean, it's actually a thing. Who are guys who are not in the Hall of Fame but were really good. And I mean, Driver is he's that kind of
number 1 on the list.
Unbelievable player.
So that was my next question, because a lot of people went as far to say that like he's above many other people, that some like Lofton, like some people that even are in the Hall of Fame, and I went, well, I'm not sure that Driver's ever going to get the Hall of Fame.
No, John Driver's not a Hall of Fame player, never.
Yeah,
that's not disparaging Alan Driver. I mean, he's a hell. We went to have like 3 Pro Bowls or something like that. I mean, he's a hell of a player.
Bill Huber, SI.com. Thanks for jumping on with us. Maybe we'll chat with you next week and go, okay, how'd that go? And is our optimistic
I'll be cheerful.
Anywhere near?
I'll be cheerful.
Just for fun, before we let you go, one name, 2nd round pick, one name that they go. Just throw it out there. There's one guy. You had to write
Lee
down.
Hunter, Texas Tech. Nose tackle. He goes with a name his nickname is the Fridge. Just so it's what we need for the Packers-Bears rivalry is the Fridge.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about
He's
that.
a player too.
That. I love it. All right, we'll look for that. Thank you, Bill.
All right, take care, guys.
Talk to you soon, bud. The Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. That guest hotline stays hot. Joining us next to chat Brewers baseball, heading into a 6-game homestand. The franchise himself, Tim Allens, joins us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Joining us now on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law, one call, that's all. On Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. There's no introduction that does the man justice. Let's just jump in. Tim Allen, the franchise, on a homestand weekend for the Brewers. But first, we should probably cover the road trip. Tim, I said to Josh to start the show today, I'm happy when the Brewers come home off a road trip at 500. The losses were tough, but I'm okay with 500 baseball on the road. Are you?
At the end of the day, I mean, if you look at it in the 6-pack of games, you're 3-3. And yeah, I would tend to lean that way, Trevor. But it's the way in which, yeah, you're right. The way in which they lost yesterday was brutal.
Thank you, Tim. Thank you.
It was brutal. And I know that people are saying, well, it was Scooble. And you have to sort of accept it at times in baseball. Okay, fair enough. At the beginning of the game, that's fair enough. That's a tough customer. He's one of the best in the business. And with the Brewers offense not necessarily rolling consistently right now, I accepted that through the first few innings. Then when it got to 2-1, what happens to us fans? We say, whoa, wait a minute here. We got a little pop to steal this thing. And steal is an appropriate word against a dude like that. We have to keep that and consider that in mind here. So then it got to 3-1, and I don't know, that pitch count. If you could exit Scooble, work up that pitch count a little bit. Then Blake Perkins, bam, 2-run double. We're tied. Okay, now you legitimately, it's almost like a new game at that point.
You got him out of the game.
You got him out of the game. It's a new game. Now let's go. And you had ample opportunity. You had 3 inning-ending double plays.
Well, they took the lead, Tim. They did get the lead.
And Hamilton up 4-3. And again, when you have a lead with those type of leverage relievers in the back end of that bullpen, those most times are supposed to be wins. Now, the bullpen is not innocent in all this. We always point to the offense and the injuries and things like that. That bullpen, to my count, I believe it's the 4th loss this year in which the Brewers have had a lead in the 7th inning. Okay, not after 7, because I know I got called out on that. I didn't say after 7 innings. I said in the 7th inning. Most times those are going to be victories. But Serpa, Jahmai Jones, really, of all things? I mean, come on. And then Abner Uribe, that's what you get when you fall behind hitters with power. You have to come to him, and he was looking for it, and he got it, and they won. So there's plenty of things in here. The swing decisions, guys, it's really unlike the woodpecker mentality, especially the one with Contreras. I could point to the one with Terang as well. What are you guys doing when the pitch count? You got a pitcher and pitchers, plural, that are wild here. They're loading the bases. They're allowing you to work a count a little bit. Contreras, I wasn't necessarily surprised with it on the 3-0 swing.
He did that earlier, not on a 3-0, but he definitely swung on a first pitch in a different at-bat in this road trip where I was like, dude,
yeah. And after the last couple of years, though, he's been in those big moments, Trevor, he's been known to let's just get this thing done one way or the other.
He earns it.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, here's my thing, Tim, and I will reiterate this 100 times. You said a lot of times we go to the lineup, to the offense. I have been a stickler and will continue to dig my flag deeper in the ground on the mountain of the bullpen is the problem. I've said it for at least a week, if not weeks. I can find an excuse for every other area of this team. Starting pitching has injuries and is still playing pretty well through it. Offense has multiple players in the lineup with batting averages under 200, guys struggling. But you also have Yelich and Churio and Vaughn out, okay? So those guys come back, it can be fixed. You have an excuse. The bullpen is supposed to be the part of this team that is holding this all together as we wait for the other injured players to come back to help those other two areas. And they are the reason why we are losing games. The offense, as bad as it has been, put the Brewers in an opportunity to win that game yesterday. And just like the bullpen has too many times before, they blew it. It could be McGill. It could be Uribe. It could be Zerpa. Take DL Hall. Take your pick. It doesn't matter. I have no faith in this bullpen right now. There's not one guy that I can go, all right, at least they're going to this guy. I maybe Ashby, but you're never going to put Ashby in at the end of a game. That's not where he belongs. Is that where they're going to go? It seems like Murph is kind of, he's got questions and he's looking for answers. He's throwing anything at the wall that'll stick right now to being able to hold on to a gosh darn lead with this team right now. And it is, I promise you, if something doesn't happen the way that it's supposed to with this team down the stretch, I want everyone to remember what happened in April when this bullpen just could not figure it out and kept letting games slip away.
You're right. These are big losses. I mean, cooler heads prevail after time goes by. I was insane yesterday for a little bit because, and those that took the passive role and said, wow, man, it's only, it's not even a full month of April here. It's April 23rd, 24th. Relax a little bit. Relax. Okay. What if this game happened with 3 games remaining and it was game 160 and the Brewers were 2 games out of a playoff spot? Oh, people would be going nuts. We'd be across the board consensus. You have got to win that game in the back of the bullpen. We got to keep that in mind. And then let's remember, first of all, on Serpa yesterday, I love Major League Baseball managers, and I don't blame them. I tend to point to the bright side and the optimistic side anyway, so I sort of understand it. But Serpa yesterday, according to Pat Murphy, quote, he pitched great. Now,
okay.
Now, come on. Okay, I get supporting and staying positive, but that wasn't great. You gave up a home run to Jahmai Jones. That wasn't pitching great. Okay, so that's number one. But let's go back. Speaking of managers, let's go back to what you fellas and I talked about heading into the season. One of the things that Craig Counsell taught me many years ago, and he's like, dude, you got to remember, we assume surprises are going to happen. We have to write those in, but we don't write in specifically what they are. We just write in positive surprise, negative surprise. That's going to happen. Be prepared as best you can for them, but know that they're going to happen. And Trevor, to your comments, this is, for me, this is the biggest surprise of the season so far, is the back end of that bullpen. It's the injury to Koenig, which is looming way bigger than we ever thought. Koenig has been a stud the last couple of years in big, big moments in Brewers baseball. So let's start there. But then the surprise of McGill blowing a few saves, the surprise of Serpa not coming out strong like he did in the WBC. And then, of course, Abner Uribe, still not quite that electrifying lock-in, lock-down closer guy. That back end of the bullpen, for me, is the biggest surprise of the year.
Tim Allen joining us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, recapping what was a Brewers loss, a tough one yesterday, and the bullpen and the lack of hitting. And yet, as the season lands today, Tim, 13-11. So if there is a concern that we have to fix, what do you choose so that we can move towards the future with this 6-game homestand, especially against Skeens tonight? And I have one thought on this. Is it too soon? I don't feel like Murphy is managing the roster the way he has in the past that makes us feel like it's all going to be okay. A lot of moving and shaking, and guys need consistency. Is there something to that?
I think so. I mean, you see Matos and you see Greg Jones and you see some of these guys getting ABs when, there's two guys that are really big foundational pieces, if you will, at least for the next couple of years. I mean, Jake Bauers and Garrett Mitchell, you have to play those right now. You just have to play those players. So what you have are 4A players. I mean, I hate to down anybody in a Brewers uniform, but my goodness, I would trust Garrett Mitchell and Jake Bauers getting 4 AB or 3 ABs for sure against a lefty over a Greg Jones and a Matos and some of these guys.
Agreed.
Even Perkins, despite the big hit yesterday, boy, he's been just non-existent. He can't capture that mode he's had in a Brewers uniform at times. So is there something that they can do? If the bullpen continues to scuffle, Murph has no choice but to extend the starting pitching. Sproat yesterday threw 76 pitches. And he had a man on when he was removed. I mean, at some point, you're going to have to say, okay, let's restrict the number of outs we need. And I don't blame him because he still thinks that bullpen can get it together. And I think they can too. But he sees the light at the end of the tunnel. I got a lead. It's 3-2. And it's the 7th inning. I got a lead yesterday. It's 4-3 in the 7th inning. I got to go to my guns because if I don't, I'll have regrets. So in that regard, he's not going to have regrets. Now, offensively, there's no homers. I think they've hit 1 home run in the last 10 days as a team.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so those home runs will come. Why don't they run into home runs? Well, there's no protection in that lineup, guys. And that's the answer. They don't. Once you get Churio back, once you get Vaughn back, once you get Yelich back, at that time, and I'm saying when all 3 are back and active, you better stay in this thing. And in the meantime, once that happens, then other guys are going to run into a home run once in a while. I'll promise you, Joey Ortiz is going to hit a home run at some point. He will, but he needs protection in that lineup. Same deal with Sal Frelick. He needs protection in that lineup. Same with Bryce Durang and William Contreras have been carrying the load here a little bit. They will even see better pitches once they get healthier. And finally, guys, it'll put guys like Matos back where they belong, either DFA'd or to the minor leagues. It will put Greg Jones back where he belongs, maybe as the 26th man on the roster, but probably in Nashville. It will put Blake Perkins back in Nashville. So these things will start to take shape once healthy. But Trevor, to your 13-11 mark, you got to hang in there right now. That's why these games are huge. You got to win until you get healthy.
100% agree, Tim. My big concern is you talked about extending the starting pitching, leaving them out there a little bit longer, taking that risk. You're not going to leave them out there until the 8th. You're not going to leave them out there until the 8th and 9th, which are the times when your McGill and Uribe, which are the guys that we relied on last year to be those shutdown closing power that made us feel comfortable going, we got the lead, we just won this game.
That's right.
That aren't performing. Extending the starting pitching is not going to solve that issue.
But it'll buy you a few more outs, and that's the thing. It'll just sort of it'll clear up maybe the pocket of hitters that these guys are going to face. You know, the grouping that came in. Why is McGill first and not Serpa first? Well, it's a pocket of right-handers that are coming up. That's a good spot for McGill. Or lefties coming up. That's a good spot for Serpa. I think it'll restrict so many decisions to make. And, you know, this three batter rule, I really believe has hurt baseball a little bit in terms of strategy. I kind of liked it. I didn't like the length of games, but I did kind of like the strategy of it.
Can you explain for us, Tim, the idea of DL Hall coming in for 2 innings and before they went to Chad Patrick, like what the reasoning behind making that move was?
Number one, it worked. Okay, he didn't give up any runs, but
it didn't work if you're Chad Patrick.
And that throws a guy off. These starting pitchers, man, they want to start.
Right.
That's a badge of honor to be in a rotation. Murphy, I can detect a little, I wouldn't say lack of confidence.
No, you're right. I think you can. That's what I'm getting at. I don't know that Murph believes in what we got right now.
Right.
With Patrick. With Patrick specifically, the's a few comments that they have
think
made.
There's more than that. I think it's more than that, Tim. I think that he didn't know what to do with DL Hall. I think he put DL Hall out there and said, let him throw a few first, get out of his own head. And that's why, even though he was killing it and he got through 2 innings and had a few strikeouts, he didn't leave him in there because he went, nope, that's good. See, you can do this. Now put Patrick in, have him go like he was supposed to, and hopefully that fixed the DL Hall problem.
Murph did say after that game that DL Hall, he was 2 innings scoreless, but this is the major leagues. You can't walk the first 2 hitters you face. I'm totally with him. Now, again, did that impact a scoreless 2 innings? No, because they were scoreless. Did it impact keeping the line moving for the opposition? That's 2 additional hitters. That's additional at-bats potentially for their studs on the other diamond. That's why you can't walk guys. It continues the cycle of turning things over to their guns to get an extra at-bat or 2 later in the game. So, but yeah, I've been detecting, especially on Chad Patrick, that the organization just doesn't – they want him to work on Murphy made the comment the other day, he needs to develop a big league breaking ball. Now, that's an indictment on Patrick. And all we've seen, I mean, just from a fan standpoint, just a bulldog out there. Look what he did last year. Patrick's headed to the bullpen, guys. I'm telling you, based on all the comments I've heard from Murphy this season, when Quinn Priester comes back, Patrick, again, is going to be the odd man out. He was the odd man out last year when Mizorowski was brought up. He's going to be the odd man out when Priester is activated. Now, that could be another 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever it might be. But you watch. That's my prediction. Patrick will go to the bullpen. And he was good last year out of the pen. Let's not forget that, especially in the postseason.
Well, good news there's a roof because it's not all sunshine and rainbows today, is it?
Nope. They need to win.
Well, if I'd asked you, would you have taken a 1-1 split against Skubal and Skeens?
Yes, 100%.
Me too. And
depends. Did they get both of them out of the game with a lead?
Well, but they're still. You said, Trevor. You said yes. They still have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Tonight.
And listen, I like that. Listen, 500 on the road, especially early this season, and especially the way it's kind of being managed. This isn't an indictment on Murph. It's just, I think, for the first time in our tenure with Pat, he's a little befuzzled, and that is what it is.
A little more. Yep.
All right, man. We appreciate you, and we look forward to chatting with you on Monday after the set with the Pirates this weekend.
Yeah, no doubt. Real quick, we're going to rewind tonight. It'll be those longtime listeners of the post-game show. You may remember the Tim and Sparky years. This is going to be a Tim and Sparky post-game
let's go
show tonight. So we had some great times, man. I'm looking forward to it. Tim and Sparky tonight, and we'll keep you covered on all the draft details as well.
Love it.
We love it. Tim Allen on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network guest hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. Thanks, Dave.
Thanks, guys.
When we come back, we will cross over with Rami Makloff and get his take on all things, but not really. We'll just check in with him and how his weekend looks. And do we really want to talk about the bit? Meh.
No, I want to get his opinion on who these guys are and what he thinks for his Chicago Bears, so that then I can put it out of my mind, not think about it ever again.
Right, until we talk to him on Monday, and they're going to be like, "Oh, what'd you think of the weekend for the Bears?"
Are you kidding me? On Monday, the Packers will have draft picks.
Damn right.
Yeah.
We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Bring your cravings. Wendy's will bring the rewards. Download the Wendy's app today and start earning rewards. Wendy's rewards are fast, free, and full of flavor. And you can get 200 bonus reward points and a free 10-piece nuggets just for signing up. Earn points on every order and trade them for fries, burgers, and more. Earn free eats faster than you can say. Fresh, never frozen. Loyalty has never tasted so good.
A reminder to tune in tonight, 6 o'clock. Charlie and Sparky and all things draft analysis. It's the Green Bay Football Draft Show tonight at 6 on the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network. Trevor and Josh inside Wisconsin Sports. Welcome him in Rami Makloff from 9 to noon with John Kuhn and Rami, who is processing all things Bears draft yesterday. So how do you feel about the D-line being upgraded?
They took a safety. They didn't upgrade the D-line.
But how do you feel about the D-line
not being upgraded? I was on the draft coverage for our sister station, or the sister station of our last night. And the reaction was mixed, because a lot of people were pointing to what you're talking about, the fact that they didn't address the trenches and the defensive line.
I like that. I like that mixed reaction. That's good.
But I mean, I think they did get a good player and a guy who they can immediately plug in as the number one safety. And
don't like that.
He's a
Which
ball
are all
hawk.
the things you say when you don't like the pick. Let's be real.
No, we went around the horn on our show we were doing last night, and who do you want them to take now that we know what the board is and we know who's on the board with the Bears at 25, and it was unanimous. All of us said Dylan Thieneman, the safety out of Oregon. I also could have gone Caden McDonald, the big defensive tackle for Ohio State, because they do need help in the trenches. And look, man, their defense was bad in every way, shape, and form last year. Was the Bears, other than getting turnovers? He's more of a run stopper, which they also needed that. But if there wasn't a dominant pass rusher on the board at 25 there, I was okay with them going and getting a safety, because they lost both their safeties in free agency this year and did replace one of them, getting Kobe Bryant from Seattle. But there was still a
Kobe?
Yeah,
Nice.
Kobe. There was still a gaping hole at the other safety spot on their depth chart, so they addressed that, and I'm okay with that.
I don't pay a lot of attention to Chicago draft picks because obviously, who cares?
Right.
But was this the latest in the draft the Bears have had in like forever?
There was a few things about last night.
Is this completely new territory?
Yeah, I had to change. I didn't
even think about that. Packers fans are so used to drafting 20 to 30. I mean, the fact that the Bears were stuck in that world and not in the top 15.
We weren't looking for a quarterback. We weren't in the top 10.
Right. A completely new experience.
There was so much about it. I kept on saying on the show yesterday, like, because I want, you're watching the board and you want to see how the board falls. And I wanted,
usually you don't have to watch the board that hard.
I wanted a defensive lineman or a safety, and defensive linemen and safeties were not going early in the draft. I was like, when do I get excited about this? I don't even know when to get excited about this, because we're picking so late.
Yeah,
I had no idea how to handle that draft last night mentally. It was a very different experience for Bears
good
fans,
news.
for sure.
You won't have to worry about it for years to come. It's all good. You'll get used to it. What's coming up on 9 to noon?
I mean, there's so much to talk about. Now the Packers do have a pick, and they will be on the clock tonight. So we'll talk a little bit about what went down last night, what you want to see the Packers do tonight. Obviously, got to get into the Taylor Jenkins hire by the Milwaukee Bucks. You had the Brewers with a tough loss yesterday and starting a series on a tough note with Paul Skeens and the Pirates today. We'll get into that as well. And Jacob Westendorf, he covers the Packers for SI. He will join us at 10 o'clock to go over all the Packers and draft things that need to be discussed.
Our thanks to the other guy from SI, Bill Huber, for joining us on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, along with the franchise himself, Tim Allen, as he does most Mondays and most Fridays. Nobody knows Brew Crew baseball like Timmy. We appreciate all of you. Get excited, Wisconsin. It is a great Wisconsin sports weekend ahead. We're live from the Wisconsin Sports Radio Network studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. See you Monday.
Because we're not done yet.